Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Warriors to sign Kevin Knox to second 10-day contract. The Warriors intend to sign forward Kevin Knox to a second 10-day contract once his initial deal expires, sources tell Anthony Slater of The Athletic. Knox has been in the Warriors organization since last July, having played for Golden State in Summer League and during the preseason before spending the majority of the 2024-25 campaign with the Santa Cruz Warriors in the G League. Although he played a modest role off the bench on his 10-day contract, Knox impressed the team with his contributions in limited action, according to Slater. The former 9th overall pick scored 23 points on 9 of 17 shooting in 29 minutes across 4 games while also contributing 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and a pair of blocks. Knox will earn $150,179 on his second 10-day contract, with the Warriors taking on a cap hit of $119,972. Since Golden State is navigating a hard cap, it will be interesting to see whether the team signs a second player to a 10-day contract alongside Knox in order to remain at 14 on standard deals. With Yuri Collins' 10-day contract also set to expire on Friday night, the Warriors will temporarily dip down to 12 players before re-signing Knox to get to 13. Golden State can only carry fewer than 14 players for up to 14 more days this season, so that clock would begin to tick again starting Saturday if the club doesn't sign a second player, whether that's Collins or someone else. Steve Kerr's blunt message after Steph Curry's historic performance. On Thursday night, Stephen Curry put on an absolute show, reminding the basketball world why his style of play is more sustainable than those who lean into their athletic ability. The generational guard posted 56 points on 16 of 25 shooting en route to a 121-115 victory for the Golden State Warriors over the Orlando Magic. While the Warriors got down by as much as 17 points in the first half, it was clear Curry was dialed in and hunting his shot. He was the only Warriors player keeping the team afloat, and his half-court shot to end the first half was an indictment of such. Scoring 22 points in the third quarter alone, the Golden State superstar turned the tide in the contest, willing the Warriors to an eventual win in a historic showing. The entire NBA world was shocked after Curry's outing, though it's not something he hasn't shown before. The rest of the Warriors players were just letting Curry hunt for his shots while putting in extra effort defensively. Steve Kerr's simple analysis of the historic performance. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr had quite a blunt analysis and assessment of Curry's superb performance, which saw him nail 12 three-pointers. "It never gets old watching," Kerr said. "Curry is one of the most electric athletes to watch, and he doesn't have high-flying athleticism or any eye-popping physical abilities, he's just that skilled." The Warriors superstar remains one of the greatest shows in sports, and watching him hunt and nail circus shots remains a thrill all these years later. How surging Warriors pumped life back into season. On February 6, the Golden State Warriors were 10th in the Western Conference with a 25-26 record. 3 weeks later, the Warriors, 32-27, are the 7th seed in the West and ride a 5-game winning streak after Thursday's 121-115 win over the Orlando Magic. 2 key events have dramatically altered Golden State's arc: the arrival of Jimmy Butler at the trade deadline from Miami and Steph Curry's return to dominant play. In Golden State's past 8 games, Curry has looked like his vintage MVP self. During this stretch, the guard has averaged 30.6 points, 5.4 assists, and 4.1 rebounds, and shot 42.7% from three-point range, per Basketball Reference. These numbers are remarkably similar to Curry's MVP season of 2015-16, when he led the Warriors to a 73-9 record. Golden State, which plays next at Philadelphia, 20-38, on Saturday, won't reach those heights this season, of course, but Curry's return to form is notable. Since the trade, he's been so dialed in, Warriors forward Draymond Green said Thursday, per ESPN's own Young Masuk. He told you guys all you want to do is play with expectations, have some expectations, and meant that. I think you look at the body of work over the course of the years, obviously we know that's true. The highlight of Curry's resurgence was his virtuoso performance against the Magic on Thursday, when he scored 56 points and tied a career high with 12 three-pointers. It was a vintage Curry explosion, one in which even half-court shots seemed as easy as layups. Curry deservedly gets the majority of credit for Golden State's turnaround. But the arrival of Butler has also played a major role. His stats with Golden State aren't exceptional: 16.4 ppg, 5.6 apg, 5.8 rpg, and 43% shooting from the field, but having another great shot creator and on-ball defender has opened Golden State's free-flowing offense and strengthened the defense. Since acquiring Butler, the Warriors' defensive rating is fourth best in the NBA, 107.6, per NBA Advanced Stats. Butler has always prided himself on defense, and Curry's recent performance has inspired him to play even better on that end of the court. Curry's offensive performance, makes everyone want to be great on the defensive side so we can get him the ball back and watch him do something incredible. Butler said, per Anthony Slater of The Athletic, after the win in Orlando. With a relatively easy upcoming schedule, a red-hot Curry and a defensive-oriented Butler give the Warriors our chance to do something special. Taran Armstrong stats: Cairns Taipan's guard signs with Golden State Warriors on two-way contract. Taran Armstrong has become the latest Australian talent to join the NBA, after it was announced he was signing a two-way deal with the Golden State Warriors. Armstrong is coming off of an impressive NBL campaign with the Cairns Taipans, and will now follow in the footsteps of names like Jock Landale and Jack McVeigh in making the successful transition to the world's toughest league. The Australian will join a Golden State Warriors team eager to push for another NBA championship, having recently traded for All-Star Jimmy Butler to pair with two-time MVP Stephen Curry. Taran Armstrong signs with Golden State Warriors. Taran Armstrong is heading to the NBA, with ESPN's Shams Charania reporting that the Australian guard has signed with the Golden State Warriors. Heralded as one of the most promising young Australians on the basketball scene, the 23-year-old has spent the last 2 seasons in the NBL with the Cairns Taipans, and during the 2024-25 season recorded the league's first triple-double in 2 years against Brisbane. Before this, he played 2 collegiate seasons for Division I team California Baptist, but opted to forego his junior and senior year to instead join his home league, a decision which has now paid off. It's interesting. I think my personal development has been accelerated a lot in probably only the last year and a half, Armstrong told the NBL earlier this season. Last year versus this year, I'm not afraid of failure. I don't fear missing shots, I don't fear turning the ball over, I don't fear not being good enough. Partly because of all the personal development I've had away from the game, it makes that stuff a bit easier. But, I'm just not afraid. I don't fear it. So, I was coming in there and felt super comfortable on the court, enjoying all of it, enjoying being on the stage, playing with my teammates and doing all that stuff. It's honestly just no fear of failure. Armstrong's 2-way contract will see him split time between the Golden State Warriors and their G-League affiliate, the Santa Cruz Warriors, as he looks to find his feet in the NBA. Taran Armstrong 2024-25 season stats. 19 games played. 17.1 points per game. 4.7 assists per game. 4.6 rebounds per game. 0.9 steals per game. 0.1 blocks per game. 46% FG. 35.1% 3-point. 69% FT.